Okay, so the first one is, and I think a lot of people probably felt this, but you feel it with people like parents, other people that you look up to, maybe elder siblings, hero figures in your life and stuff. Is that thing where you become an adult and then you realize that everyone is literally figuring it out and they have scraped through and they're
Nobody knows
hanging.
anything.
They're
Very
hanging
well
for a
said.
thread.
Yes.
Because when I was a child, and I remember asking my mom, and I realized, oh my God, mom, why did you say that to me? I asked my mom because she can I was tired and I wanted to grab my toothbrush, which was up, and I couldn't reach it. So she carried me, and I got it. And I said, Mom, you're so strong. How do you just carry me, off the floor? And she said, oh, no, that's nothing. When you become a mom, God gives you strength automatically. So you become strong so you can lift your babies. This is what my mom said to me. And I realized how much my mom
Complete
literally had
BS.
no choice and had to fine because she had to get me the toothbrush. She didn't even need
Yeah.
to lift me.
Yeah.
And it's everything. And I realize that I still do it to a lot of people, like people I look
Yes.
up to,
That is.
like my
That is.
mentors. I'm like a child. My swimming coach, I'm learning to swim a bit better. And my swimming coach, I think she's so amazing. She can swim. She's like a mermaid. And I'm staring at her and I realize she's a full human who's probably going home and has anger issues or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's great at swimming, and that's what I see. And the second thing is actually something maybe only people with uteruses can relate to, but I think that my take on menstruation changed quite a bit. I think it was the perspective taught to me was so different, especially conservative, obviously upbringing and everything of like you'll menstruate, it'll be a secret, men won't ever know anything about it, and it'll just become a casual little part of your life that you quietly endure. I
Mm.
don't do any of I'm really not doing a lot of those things because I don't see why it has to be. I talk to my boyfriend about my period. He knows about it.
Yes.
And he actually came up with a great idea where he said, because I said something very spiritual of like I think my period cycles are syncing with the moon or whatever, because that's how women used to track it as primates. They would look up at the sky and the face of the moon would say, oh, I'm going to menstruate. So Adi was saying, oh, if you really think that's true, and if you really think women can all sync their cycles, then we need to have like 2 days in a year maximum, 2 days in a month,
Month.
sorry, or saying like universal period leave because all women in the whole world menstruate on that day.
Yeah. If it's in sync, if it's in perfect sync,
Yeah,
yes.
and I
Yeah.
started to realize how a woman's reproductive cycle and everything should be a part of the world very normally and very beautifully embracing it rather than something so like, oh, this is a burden I'm going through in my life. I think that's one of the realizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's totally not, it's relatable to one out of the three people in this podcast,
No,
but
but we understand.
yeah, maybe someone would agree with me on the audio.
Coming from a guy's perspective, right? Never knew what was periods, right, until the later part of life. Like probably like 10 years ago, I got to know what it was. Um, like you said, I wish that was a part of our life, just like how you grow up. That was a part of your life. Like even guys are educated about it. I watched this wonderful podcast. Again, I'm quoting Steve. His channel is Diaries of a CEO, and in one of his podcasts, he has a guest who she talks about like the menstrual cycle, like what happens when the woman is going through this, and when is a good time to talk to her, when is a good time to comfort her, when is a good time to have like when you want to talk something opposing to her, like have a calendar up, and she makes him like he writes down, okay, day 1 to 2 I comfort her, I say she's beautiful. Day 2 to 10, I anything that I have issues with her, I'm gonna bring it up. Day 11 to 13, I'm gonna be more like flirtatious, because she's more like in more like sexual comfort zone. And then day 18 to 19, I'm not gonna bring up anything. I'm just gonna whatever she says is the truth. If she says 2 plus 2 is 5, it is 5. So and she does that. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Cool. I'm very curious about this. Because I actually I think that these things happen.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
really happen, and
Yes.
we're just not given a sort of space to
Hmm.
have explored it, I guess.
About having the universal leave if it's synchronized, there are a lot of like CEOs who are aware of this and their mood cycles, and they base their meeting based off of their menstrual cycle. They do.
Wow, like women CEOs.
Yes,
Oh
yes. She
wow.
mentioned a lot of them that they do that. They have their meetings around that. Those like good spot where they can have like tough conversation. They make sure they schedule those meeting and they move around stuff. So most of them do that.
Yeah, and